Think about the bell work while you think about the answer for this math puzzle. I have good and interesting news for you. It's about our PERT exam. Next week, I know it's going to be a crazy week. Last week for seniors, just a couple of weeks from end of the school year for everybody. And I will work with some reviews. Probably will bring back some old lessons to review, to show you. I don't want to bring new topics, new things next week, because I'm not sure if we will have the mindset, right, to focus on new topics. Will be a chance for you to improve the grade on your quizzes. Next week, if you have an A, you don't need to be worried. You probably don't even need to submit any quizzes if you have an A. But if you have a B and you still want to improve, to change, I will get the quizzes that you complete next week, and I'm going to substitute by the grade that you have, the lowest grade that you have. Let's say you worked before on a quiz and had 15 out of 20. Then you can work next week on a quiz, and I will use your grade, if it's better, to substitute the previous grade and then improve your overall grade, right? So this is what I plan to do next week. And another thing, very important, is about the PERT exam. Seniors must have a score of 97 or higher, so they don't need to take the PERT exam next week. If you have a score of 96 or less, you have to take the exam to keep your current grade, right? You have to take the exam. And let me tell you something about this PERT exam. It's going to be something good. It's an opportunity to have to improve the grade that you have on this exam. That's a placement test. It's used for college application. So that's something good, and it's not intended to decrease your grade, to lower your grade. So if you have a score that's 96 or less, you come here, you take the exam, you do your best, and your grade will not be lower, no matter the result of the exam, okay? And for grades, not seniors, so grades 9, 10, and 11, you need to have a score of 414 or higher so you don't need to take the exam. I have calculated, I have all my periods, I have 120 students about, and 30 seniors need to take the exam, and about 30 9th, 10th and 11th graders needs to take the exam as well, about that number, not everybody. You can check your previous PERT grade on Focus, it's available. And if you don't take the exam next week, we will use your last score to calculate your overall grade at the end of this quarter. We're going to use your last score. And if you don't have any score, that's going to be a big problem, because you have a 0. But again, this is not a requirement for graduation. If you are on the right track for graduation, you don't need to be stressed about it. This is a chance, an opportunity to improve a very important placement grade if you decide if you're applying for college. The schedule, seniors, will be May 18 from 7:30 to 9:30. Okay, this is the day and the time you have to come to school to take the PERT exam. Makeup days will be the 19th and the 21st, no exceptions. So if you don't have a grade, or if your grade is lower than 96, I suggest you come here, be relaxed, don't be worried about it, and take the exam, do your best. And 9th, 10th and 11th graders, you will have any of these days, 19, 20 or 21, to take the exam from 7:30 to 9:30. I think you will probably receive something on flex time, but if I have more information, I bring you tomorrow. Any questions about the PERT exam on the schedule? If you have any questions, you can ask now. And yesterday we worked on finding the formula of a sequence. Last Friday we learned how to find the next term of a sequence, right? We just need to find a pattern and follow the same pattern. So 3/2. Look at the screen. The sequence, an example is 3/2, 4/3, 5/4, 6/5, 7/6, and the next one will for sure look at the numerators 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The numerator will be 8. Now look at the denominator 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the denominator will be 7. Yes, it's pretty clear, right? But yesterday we learned how to find a formula to calculate it. If we have the order, let's say this is the first, right? N equals 1. This is the first term, second term, third, fourth, fifth, and that one is the sixth term, right? N equals 6. We need a formula that if we plug in 6, we will find 8/7. If we plug in 1, we will find 3/2. If we plug in 3, we will find 5/4. Okay? And yesterday we worked on it. We found this formula here. AN equals n plus 2 on the numerator and n plus something is missing on the denominator. Can you help me find the number that's missing to calculate the denominator of this formula of the nth term of a sequence? Help me out. I will invite someone. Now we tried 4. We checked it's not 4. So let's try 1. Let's try 1. Maybe it's going to be the right answer. N plus 1. So on the numerator, if n equals 5, 5 plus 2, 7. Okay. And on the denominator, n plus 1, 5 plus 1 equals 6. Yes, 1 is the right answer. Yes, 1 is the number missing here. And the formula will be AN equals n plus 2 over n plus 1. Nice! With this formula, I can calculate any term of this sequence. I just need to know the order. 1, 2, 3, the 11th term, the 100th term, any term. As long as I plug in n, I can find the right answer, the right term. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Andrew. Let's move on. And today we will talk about series. The whole topic is sequences and series. We understand what is a sequence now, right? Is a sequence of numbers, a set of numbers that have some kind of rule that we can represent using a formula. And the series, if we want to define it in a very simple way, is the indicated sum of the terms of a sequence. This is called series. Very simple thing. You have a sequence, there's an example here. A real life application. Suppose that the yearly interest earned in an account over a 4-year period is given by the sequence. So n equals 1, the first year, n equals 2, n equals 3, and n equals 4. Okay? The sequence is 250, 267, 278.25, 292.16. That's the sequence, and the series, you're going to substitute the comma by the plus. You add all these terms, and if you add, you're going to find 1085.41. and this is the definition of series. Is the sum of the terms we can define in a series. What are the terms we are adding? The interval. We can define the interval. Okay? Let's check an example. Maybe this, if it's not clear yet, maybe with an example we will understand better. What I want you to remember after this lesson is this kind of thing, this notation. When we talk about series, we will use this Greek letter. This is a Greek letter, it's called sigma. And the sigma means we will sum, is a summation of terms. After the sigma, we will represent the formula of the sequence. Let's say the sequence we're gonna work, the formula is n cubed. And on the bottom and on the top of this Greek letter, we're gonna write down the interval. We want to calculate from the first term to the fourth term. Okay? So today I want you to remember this notation. If you don't remember anything else, but you remember that sigma means the summation, the summation of all the terms of a sequence to make a series, I will be really happy. Okay? So sigma of n cubed, from if n equals 1 to n equals 4, is going to be equals. So we have n cubed plus n cubed plus n cubed for n cubed. Let's make this for n equals 1. For n equals 2, n equals 3, and n equals 4. Okay? Because it's defined here that n is the interval from 1 up to 4. For n equals 1, just plug in 1 cubed. For n equals 2, plug in here, n equals 2. For n equals 3, let's plug in 3. And n equals 4, that's it, plug in 4. Nice! Now we have the expression that will define this series. 1 cubed plus 2 cubed plus 3 cubed plus 4 cubed. And the answer is 1 plus 8 plus 27 plus 64, 100. Any questions? Tell me if you have any questions. I will show another example in the sequence, and focus on remembering the notation. Notation finding, example 5, finding a sum from sigma notation. And the notation is sigma is the sum from n equals 1 to n equals 3 of this expression here, 3n plus 4, right? So 3n plus 4 plus 3n plus 4 plus 3n plus 4. Let's make this for n equals 1, that is for n equals 2, that is for n equals 3. Plug in 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3. Now calculate and we will find the answer. Let's do the calculations to find the final answer. 3 times 1, 3, plus 4, plus 3 times 2, 6, plus 4, 3 times 3, 9, plus 4. Add all this thing together and the result will be 3 plus 6 plus 9, 18, 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12, The result is 30. Check in your calculator. All right, any questions? What do you think? Any questions, any comments or complaints or feedback? You can say, no, this is confusing, this is hard, this is kind of, I can understand, but it's still struggling. Or no, this is easy. Oh, no, piece of cake, very easy. If you practice on the quiz, you're going to see this is kind of easy. The new thing for most of you is going to be this symbol, the sigma symbol. So just focus on remembering this sigma symbol. What means this sigma is the summation, and we will define the interval from n equals, let's say 1 to n equals, let's say 3. And after the sigma, you're going to have the formula you will use as for each term of the sequence. All right. Let's find the right answer. And we have everybody agrees with one number, and I think it might be the right answer, or not. Let's check it out. If you have a different opinion, if you have a different number, send me. All right. Look at this. You need to look at a different perspective. It kind of looks like there's a car, right, hidden the number. It kind of looks like a parking lot with several spots for parking. And we need to have a different point of view to solve this problem. If you look at each number in a different way, instead of the way you're looking right now, maybe you can look at upside down. So check this first number here, the last number on the screen, but is going to be the first number we will check upside down, and this is going to be an 85, right? And what about this? The next, if you look at upside down, is an 86. That one is hidden, and look at that upside down, 88, 89. 90, 91, and 92. So look at the whole thing upside down, and the series make a lot of sense. 85, 86, and then we have 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, and 92. So the answer is going to be 87, or as most of you or all of you answered, 78, because it's upside down, right? 78 is also a correct answer. 87 or 78. On the quiz today, find the sums, round to 2 decimal places when necessary. You can answer as an integer, you can answer as a fraction, or you can just answer as a decimal, rounding to 2 decimal places if you want. The first one, letter A. To solve today's quiz, you have to understand this new kind of notation, the sigma notation. So we have sigma, and will be an interval between n equals 1 and n equals 3. So we will work with the terms. N equals 1, the first term, n equals 2, the second term, n equals 3, the third term, right? So let's write down here. First, second term, and third term, right? Because we have n from 1 to 3. Yes, Mia, no problem. For the first term, you plug in n equals 1. For the second term, you plug in n equals 2. For the third term, you plug n equals 3. Right? And the result will be 3 times 1, 3, 3 times 2, 6, 3 times 3, 9. The final answer here will be 18. Now, just give me 1 minute to check attendance, and I will be right back. We can work on all the questions if you need. For letter B, and we will have the interval from n equals 1 to n equals 3 again. So let's write down here. The interval is n equals 1, the first, then the second term, and the third term. Okay? This can change depending on the numbers you use on the bottom and on the top of the sigma sign. And the numbers we have is n equals 1 to n equals 3. Now we will plug in. For n equals 1 we have 1 square. For n equals 2 we have 2 square. For n equals 3, 3 square. And this is 1 plus 4 plus 9. The answer is 14. 14 is the right answer. Now letter E. Letter E, we see the E. That's a good one. Now instead of 3 terms, we need 4. See, because n is 1 to 4. And let's write down here. We need the first, we need n equals 1, n equals 2, n equals 3, and n equals 4. Okay? We're going to need 4. For n equals 1, we have 2 exponent 1, n equals 2, 2 exponent 2 squared, n equals 3, 2 cubed, and n equals 4, 2 to the 4th. That is the result, 2 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16, right? Oops, no, something wrong here, not 9, 8, sorry, plus 16, and the answer is 30, right? 30 is the right answer. Thank you, Mia. For letter F, and that is an interesting one, because I don't know if you remember this thing here is the alternating sequence. Remember the alternating sequence? So let's make n equals 1, n equals 2, n equals 3, and n equals 4. For n equals 1, negative 1, exponent 1, n equals 2, negative 1, exponent 2, n equals 3, negative 1, exponent 3, and n equals 4, negative 1, exponent 4. Right? 1, negative 1, exponent 1 is negative. Negative 1, exponent 2 is negative times negative, positive. Negative 1 exponent 3, negative again. And negative 1 exponent 4 is positive. Negative 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1. 0 is the right answer. Now you asked letter J. Letter J is a good one. Let's do the same thinking here. We're going to use n equals 1, n equals 2, and now we go from 1 to 3. 1, 2, n equals 3. Let's say we have n equals 1, and 1 minus 1 over 1. N equals 2, 2 minus 1 over 2. N equals 3, 3 minus 1 over 3. Right? and the result will be 1 minus 1, 0 over 1, 0. 2 minus 1 over 2, 1 over 2. 3 minus 1 over 3, 2 over 3. And this is 0 plus 1/2 plus 2/3 equals. You can type this in your calculator, okay? If you don't want to work with fractions, you can type in a calculator. The fraction will be 7 over 6, but you can type 0 plus 1 over 2 plus 2 over 3, and you're going to find on your calculator 1.17, rounding to 2 decimal places. Emily is asking about K and H. Let's start with the letter K. And we already know this is from 1 to 3, right? So for n equals 1, let's find this expression here using n equals 1, okay? 1 plus 1 times 1 plus 3. Now, the same expression, the same formula for n equals 2. 2 plus 1, 2 plus 2. Now the same formula for n equals 3. 3 plus 1, 3 plus 2. And we have 1 plus 1, 2. 1 plus 3, 4. 2 plus 1, 3. 2 plus 2, 4. 3 plus 1, 4. 3 plus 2, 5. You're going to see the answer for this is 2 times 4, 12. Plus 3 times 8 plus 12 plus 20, I think it's 30. 8, yes. 8 plus 12 plus 20. And the answer is 30. Right, let me see if it's right. Yeah, 2 times 4, 8. 3 times 4, 12. And 4 times 5, 20. Yes. Now, letter L. You asked it? Sorry, you asked letter H. Sorry, letter H. This is an alternating sequence. Alternating sequence from 1 to 4. This alternating sequence is not hard, but it's a bit annoying because always have this kind of thing here. -1 exponent n to make the sign alternate. So let's write down here on the bottom. If we have n equals 1, -1, 1 times 4 times 1. If we have n equals 2, -1 is squared plus 4 times 2. If we have n equals 3, -1 cubed plus times 4 times 3. And if we have n equals 4, -1, 4 times what? Times 4 times 4. Right? Okay, Andrew. It's kind of a long calculation, but we can do slowly, step by step, so don't make any mistakes. -1 exponent 1 is negative. 4 times 1, 4. -1 squared is a positive. Positive times 4 times 2, 8. And -1 cubed is a negative. 4 times 3, 12. And -1 cubed is a positive. 4 times 4, 16. Excuse me. Then the answer will be 8. Thank you, Emily.